Hi, this is Corey McCarthy, and welcome to a new episode of Fit, Formidable, and Fantastic. That's right, go F yourself. And happy Meatless Monday. In this episode, I wanted to address a question that I've been asked a lot, and I've also seen asked a lot by people who are curious about going vegan, or maybe they are vegan, they're new vegans, and it's just, I guess, a burning question for them, and that is it expensive to eat a vegan diet? I hear it phrased a lot of different ways, like, don't you pay more than you would if you were eating meat, being a vegan? And I also hear things like, is it expensive to eat a vegan diet? Well, look, I'm going to talk from my own opinion here because this is really just it's a very personal question. I mean, everyone's going to have a different answer. I guess it depends on what your income is and what you eat, how much you eat. In my case, being a bodybuilder, on one hand, I eat a lot. But on the other hand, what I eat is very specific. Some would even call my diet robotic because it's very, very, very specific and it doesn't deviate very much. So it's a very small list of shopping, but there's a lot of those specific items that I buy. And I rely very heavily on a custom pea rice protein blend that I use. And what I tend to do is order enough to it comes in the mail, it's mail order enough to last me 2 weeks, and then I will place a new order every couple of weeks for the next 2 weeks, and so on and so forth. Beyond that, I also consume, and again, this depends if I'm dieting or bulking too. If I'm bulking, there'll be more carbohydrates involved as well. But if I'm dieting, it's going to be mostly extra firm and firm tofu and broccoli or spinach or kale, things like that. Coconut oil. These are staples when I'm cutting, when I'm trying to lose fat. And if I'm trying to bulk, I'll add in things like white rice, yellow corn, that sort of thing. And post-workout, if I'm bulking, I will add dextrose to my shakes. So, that does increase the cost of my weekly grocery shopping a little bit. But when I'm cutting, generally speaking, I'll spend in the ballpark of between $50 and $75. And this is at Whole Foods Market for premium, organic items. And in fact, my tofu is sprouted too, so it's organic and sprouted, so you take it a step further. So between $50 and $75 a week in New York City at the Whole Foods Market for my cutting needs. Now, if I'm bulking, you can increase that by about $100. So generally speaking, I'll spend between $100 and $150, more on the side of $100. If I'm trying to bulk, and that will be because I'm adding in things like, like I said, the rice and the corn and other things, condiments like maple syrup and such, because I'll be wanting to put carbohydrates more into my diet, and there'll be more protein likely being consumed depending on the calorie intake as well. So that's really about it. So, yeah, I mean, I guess that's relative. Do you consider between $50 and $150 to be quite expensive per week? I frankly don't. I mean, it fits my budget well, and I'm not going to say that I'm really extreme. I'm not extremely well to do, but I'm comfortable, and I'm able to budget that just fine. I know people who are omnivores and they consume hundreds of dollars worth of groceries a week. But then again, look at what they do. They don't have specific shopping lists. They just buy whatever suits their fancy while they're in the store. It's like, oh, look at this. Look, I need that. Oh, look at that cereal. I want that too. And they'll just take random things from the shelf they don't really need. In fact, they may not even eat, or it may cause them to snack on things they wouldn't ordinarily eat, which is just going to contribute to the overall appearance and health of the majority of Americans, at the very least. And it seems to be becoming a trend worldwide with obesity and whatnot. So, in situations like that, you're going to spend a whole lot of money. And in fact, meat is very expensive. Especially if you're shopping from Whole Foods and buying organic and that sort of thing, it's very expensive. It's definitely a far cry in expense from a vegan diet. So again, it's very relative, and maybe if you're eating really cheap quality meats and cheap carb sources, not worrying about whether it's organic, not worrying about how it's sourced or anything else, then maybe you'll spend about the same. But I'd imagine you're probably still going to spend, a little more, because meat just isn't that cheap compared to, the cheaper versions of tofu and things like that. So as a vegan, yeah, I personally think it's cheaper. And I've been vegetarian before, and I grew up eating meat. So yeah, I do think it's cheaper to be vegan, and that's even in New York City, and even at Whole Foods Market, and even buying high quality vegan food sources. So that's my answer there. If you have any questions or something you'd like to contribute, leave the comments below. Otherwise, stay fit, stay formidable, and stay fantastic. And I will see you this coming Friday for our regularly scheduled episode.